entrepreneur, a lot of people say, well, entrepreneurs are all about, they're big risk takers. There was a conversation I was having the other day with a friend, and I said, actually, the best entrepreneurs are the ones that don't take much risk at all.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. I totally agree with that.
So can you talk a little bit about, the risk takers you've seen? Is there any, and the most successful, Amazon store owners, what do you see? How do they minimize their risk?
Yeah, so I've got the unique perspective of hanging out with a lot of these top sellers that I'm proud to call clients, quite frankly. And a lot of them aren't diversified outside of their business. They might diversify with another business, but few of them are actually taking cash out to invest, which at some point of your life might make sense. But I heard an interview with John Paul DeJoria, who was the founder of Paul Mitchell Systems and Patron Tequila, multi-billionaire. He was actually homeless twice on his way to becoming a billionaire. And he said his biggest piece of advice was, along the way, regardless of how much promise the business has, take cash out of the business to invest for yourself and your family. And for him, it was real estate. He was putting money aside, taking profits out of the business along the way, investing that for himself. So taking some chips off the table as you go. It has an added benefit because if you have a proven way to get a return on capital, when you go to sell the business, you'll know how much money you need to sell for to have generational wealth. We've seen a number of people in this space sell. Some of them were clients, unfortunately. Others were friends that sold and didn't sell for enough, but had the basis of a business that could have been worth a lot more if they just had have structured things a little bit better, but they didn't know how much money they needed. And you can only really know that once you have some investments that are actually giving you an ROI. There's a difference between cash flow and cash pile, as we say. So if you have a pile of cash, you think, oh, I've got no worries in the world. But what happens to a pile of cash if you still have expenses? It's going to continually decrease.
Yep.
And regardless of the size of that pile of cash, decreasing is not a good thing. Your fear mechanism kicks in your brain. If you don't have cash flow coming in and you're depleting your bank account, it changes your mental state. Trust me, I've been through this myself. It's a crazy phenomenon. So being able to efficiently deploy capital before you sell a business is actually a pretty smart move. I have a friend, I interviewed him on my podcast, Truth About Exits. He spent a full year after selling his business just trying to figure out how to generate a solid, predictable return. He chose mostly real estate as well. And then a year after that, he realized he didn't sell for enough money. So he actually came and bought one of our deals, which was larger than the business he sold. Ironically, late last year, he bought a deal from us. So he's back in the e-commerce world, building again. But he's unlocked that next level of financial security, which is good. But yeah, that's kind of a long way of answering the question.
Yeah.